Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. As per the usual, I am Cable S. Cable. Greetings and salutations, and welcome back. As you can see here, we are back in the Magic the Gathering, and we're going to unbox some new, some old decks. Some of them from when I started playing Magic back in the mid to late 90s. And just go through a couple things. So I thank you all for coming back out to the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe, and hopefully you like this video. And I will say, majority of these next couple decks coming up, I haven't rebuilt them in almost 10 to 15 years. So they're not the best, but they are mono decks, and we'll still go from there. So next up, we will go into the world of the Wizards. This deck is a mono blue Wizard tribal deck. So here we go. First up, we have Nameless One. 4-drop, 3 colorless, 1 blue. Questionable power and toughness. Nameless One equals to the power and toughness equal to the number of wizards in play. It has a morph of 3, so 2 colorless, 1 blue. You may play this card face down for 3 and place it up anytime. Pay it up for its morph costs anytime. Next up, we have the Seascape Aerialist, 5-drop, 2/3. Merfolk Wizard Ally. Whenever Seascape Artist or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may have allied creatures you control gain flying until end of turn. Mostly it's not, the allies isn't really heavy, it's more of just a tribal base. The more wizards I have, everybody feeds into the Nameless One. So we'll go from there. Next up, we have Stern Protector, 2-drop, 1/2, Summon Wizard, 2 blue. When Stern Protector comes into play, return target artifact or enchantment to its owner's hand. Next up, we have Sight of Hand, 1-drop, sorcery, blue. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them in your hand and the other in the bottom of the library. We have Sunken City, 2-drop, 2 blue. Enchantment. All blue creatures get +1/+1 during your upkeep. May pay 2 or destroy Sunken City. So more of a defensive, because the wizards aren't the strongest. They have great defense, but more isn't going to hurt. Another island. Another island. Another island. Another island. Next up, we have Thought Courier. 2-drop, 1/1. Human Wizard. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Tap, draw a card, then discard a card from your hand. Next up, we have Portent, 1-drop, sorcery, blue. Look at the top 3 cards of your target player's library. Shuffle that library on. Look at the top 3 of target player's library. I believe you can still target yourself. Shuffle that library or put those 3 cards back on the top. Or you may, look at the top 3 cards of target player's library. Shuffle that library or put those 3 cards back on the top of it in any order. Draw a card. Draw a card at the beginning of next turn's upkeep. So I believe you can target yourself, so I can look at my top 3 or shuffle my library if I need a quick rook. We have Capsize with Capsize, 3-drop, 1 colorless, 2 blue, instant, buyback 3, return target permanent to its owner's hand. Buyback is essentially buy the spell back to do it again. Next up, we have another Thought Courier. We have Willbender, 2-drop, wizard, human wizard, 1/2, morph for 2. When Willbender is turned face up, change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. Next up, we have a Prodigal Sorcerer. We have a Solidifi Machinist, 2-drop, summon wizard, 1/1. Tap, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. This mana may only be used to pay the activation cost for an artifact. Play this ability as an interrupt. Essentially, I don't think there's any artifacts in this deck, but the concept is straight wizards. Another sorcerer. We have Terraformer, 3-drop, 2/2, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Tap 1. Choose a basic land type. The land type of each land you control becomes that type until end of turn. So in case people want to try and screw over monocolor decks, that allows you to get what you need back. We have Mystic Denial, 3-drop, sorcery, 1 colorless, 2 blue. Play Mystic Denial only in response to another player's playing a creature or a sorcery. This card has no effect, and that player puts it into his or her graveyard. That is the Portal series, where they had, before they got all the text judgments for counter spells. So, we have another island. We have Chain of Vapors, 1-drop, instant, 1 blue. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then that player's that permanent's controller may sacrifice a land. If that player does, he or she may copy this spell unless they may choose a new target for that copy. So let me read that because it's kind of a mouthful. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Then that permanent's controller may sacrifice a land. If that player does, he or she may copy that spell and may choose a new target for that spell, for that copy. So I guess that is the, after they accept it or not, you have the ability to change it to you and be on the shitty venge of that. Solidivy Sage, 2-drop, 1/1, wizard, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Tap, sack 2 lands to draw 3 cards. Choose and discard one of those cards. Another Machinist. Another island. We have Ixidor's Will. 3-drop, instant, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Instant, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2 for each wizard in play. Next up we have Lumen Grid Warden. 2-drop, 1/3, human wizard, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Next up we have Lackey's Allurance. 2-drop enchantment, 2 blue. During your upkeep, you may put a treasure counter on Legacy's Allure. Sacrifice Legacy's Allure, permanently gain control of target creature with power no greater than the number of treasure counters on Legacy's Allure. Next up, we have an island. We have a Zurin Spellcaster, 3-drop, 1/1 wizard, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Tap, deal 1 damage to target creature or player. We have Crafty Patch Mage, 3-drop, 1/1 wizard, 2 colorless, 1 blue. Tap, target creature with power 2 or less is unable to is unblockable this turn. Next up, we have another Thark Courier. And then we have a Blast from the Past, Blue Elemental Blast, 1-drop, instant, counter target red spell being cast to destroy a red card in play. Next up, we have the Vedalken Plotter, 3-drop, 2/2, 2 colors, 1 blue, 1/1. Creature, wizard. When Vedalken Plotter comes into play, exchange control of target land you control with target land in an opponent's control. Next up, we have another Lumigard Warden. And then we have a Time Bender. 1-drop, 1/1 creature, a human wizard. Morph for 1 blue. You may pay this face down as a 2/2 creature for 3. When Time Bender is turned face up, choose 1. Remove 2 time counters from target permanent or suspended card, or put 2 time counters on target permanent with a time counter on it or suspended card. That's more of the Planar Chaos angles and some other stuff that happened. Next up, we have another island. We have Echo Tracer, 3-drop, 2 colorless, 1 blue, 2/2, wizard. Morph for 3. When Echo Tracer turns face up, return target creature to its owner's hand. We have a Mana War, 3-drop, 2/2, jellyfish, 2 colorless, 1 blue. When Mana War comes into play, return target creature to its owner's hands. Essentially, if people are going to try and board wipe, they have the ability to bounce their own shit back and all that other stuff like that. Next up, we have Opt, 1-drop, 1 blue, instant. Look at the top card of your library. You may put that card on the bottom of your library, draw a card. Next up, we have Tolarian Winds, 2-drop, instant, 1 colorless, 1 blue. Discard your hand, then draw that many cards. Spazzerzin Skrell. Land Spazzerzin Skrell comes into play with 2 depletion counters on it. Remove a depletion counter from the scatter. Add 2 blue mana to your mana pool. If there are no depletion counters left on Scalary, sacrifice it. So I'm not sure if that's going to be rotted to like charge counters or time counters or what have you. It makes sense if I can adjust that. So that makes sense for the Planar Chaos cards to put time counters on stuff. Another land. We have a Baldvian Conqueror, Conjoiner. 2-drop, 0/2, Summon Wizard. 1 colorless, 1 white. Tap, target snow-covered land becomes a 2/2 creature until end of turn. That ability still counts as a land, but cannot be tapped for mana if it comes into play as a side on a side this turn. So essentially gives you the ability to run Snow Islands as creatures when all else fails. Then we have Image Crafter, 1 blue, 1-drop, 1 blue, instant wizardry. Tap, target creature type, choose a creature type other than legend or wall. Target creature's type becomes that type until end of turn. So you can essentially make your non-wizard a wizard and get all the bonuses for that wizard. We have Uno, Silent Prophet, 6-drop, 4/4, Moonfolk Wizard, 4 colorless, 2 blue. Flying, tap to return 2 lands you control to their owner's hands. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose a new target for that copy. Next up, we have Ixidor, Reality Sculptor, 5-drop, 3/4, Wizard Legend, 3 colorless, 2 blue. Face down creature get +1/+1, 3-drop. Turn target face down creature face up. So it goes into the morph mechanic in the game to be beneficial for you. Next up, we have a Tidal Visionary, 1-drop, wizard, 1 blue, 1/1. Target creature becomes a color of your choice until end of turn. So in case you guys are having your, we're pro this, we're pro that, we can just make sure and go around that. Another Zarin Spellcaster. We have a Trinket Mage, 3-drop, 2/2, 2 colorless, 1 blue. When Trinket Mage comes into play, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 1 or less. Reveal that card and put that into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. Next up, we have Acquire, 5-drop, sorcery, 3 colorless, 2 blue. Search target opponent's library for an artifact card and put that card into play under your control. Then that player shuffles his or her library. Next up, we have the Jim Palm Sorcerer, 3-drop, wizard, 2/2. Cycling, 3-drop. When you cycle Jim Palm Sorcerer, all wizards gain flying until end of turn. We have the updated art for the Zarin Spellcaster from whatever, what was that ice set? Can't think it off the top of my head, but it was an interesting set. Then we have Fate Spinner, 3-drop, 1/2, 1 colorless, 2 blue, human wizard. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player chooses a draw step, main phase, or combat phase. That player skips each instance of that chosen step or phase this turn. We have another Blue Elemental Blast. 3 more islands. If you like the video, please give it a like, and if you're liking the content, please subscribe. Like I said, we do a lot other things besides Magic the Gathering, so please subscribe and see a whole bunch of other stuff we have coming up. As we get back into it, another Trinket Mage, another Spellcaster. We have a Vedalken Mastermind, 2-drop, 1/2, Vedalken Wizard, 1 blue, tap target permanent you control. It's a return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. And then another Warden, and another Warden. So, thank you all for coming back out, and until next time, this is Kiabble saying, have a good night, and we shall see you in the next one.